Hey, Daniel.
What's up, Phillip?
Hey, I think I read the title for today's episode. Are we just gonna slash the prices of podcasts today?
What does that mean?
We're like slashing.
I get slashing prices, but that means nothing about podcasts.
Well,
Is that what you had planned? Happy almost Halloween.
thanks,
Phillip.
Thanks, Daniel. What is this?
What is what? What were we doing?
I think this is classic countdown conversations.
We said that we were going to try doing a word at a time.
No, I think this is
Classic.
countdown.
Well, hold on. We gotta start from. I think this is right.
Okay.
Or what? Hold on. We'll say what is this? Or let's just start from this is classic count. Okay.
All right.
So this
Is
classic
countdown.
conver.
Shh.
Oh wait, hold on. That's one word.
Dang it.
Let's do it again.
Dang it.
This
Is
classic
countdown.
conversations.
Where
We
count
down
the
best
and
worst
that
media
has
to
offer.
when
We
feel
like.
it. Okay. First try.
All right. I bet we could do better.
Okay,
We'll
all
try it next time.
Okay, we're just leaving that one though.
Yeah.
That one for this episode.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, again, happy spooky month.
Thanks.
Best time of the year. And today we're doing a little episode where I talk most of the time. Or I mean, that's not true, I guess. I have the list, Phillip doesn't.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like a normal episode. It's kind of like a normal episode, except I don't fake it and act like I do know something. Now I just listen.
You're just sitting there listening to
I
me.
listen.
And you'll, well, yeah, because you'll ask me about stuff.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe I'll just let you hang there, hang out to dry and see what happens.
If you don't ask me what I mean in the first 5 seconds, I'm just moving on to the next one.
Okay.
So today we're doing best slashers in movies. Podcasts on October. It's like the 16th or something. I
This
don't
is
know.
like some middle of October.
Middle of October. No, the reason I was gonna do the most iconic horror movie villains, but then I was like, I don't want to go through all of horror movies. Then I was like, well, let's do the best slasher villains. And then I was thinking about it, and when I came up with my list, I was like, well, there's one that isn't necessarily like clear cut villain.
Okay.
So we're just doing slashers.
And these are movies that I've never seen.
I think you've seen some of them, maybe, probably not,
Probably not.
but we'll see. I have some honorable mentions here.
Okay.
We're just diving right in.
Wow. Jump in.
Pinhead
What is that from?
from the Hellraiser movies.
Nope. Don't know him.
Okay, Jigsaw
Okay. I do know that.
from the Saw movies.
I could have guessed that one.
Okay,
He's a little clown man.
yeah, he has like that wooden mask on or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Pamela Voorhees. We'll get into her family tree here in a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
The Candyman from Willy Wonka.
Candyman can.
No, it's not that. There's an old movie from the 90s called The Candyman, and then they're remaking it actually for next year.
Does
I think.
he take children away with
I don't
candy?
know. I've never seen it. I just saw him on a bunch of the lists. I was like, okay,
Oh.
I'll throw him on there. And then
Sounds tasty.
it sounds a tasty. That's a good candy.
A good meatball candy.
This is a spice of candy. And then The Creeper from Jeepers Creepers.
What's that?
It's a movie from the early 2000s, I think.
Well, Jeepers Creepers. If that's not the scariest thing I've heard all day.
What's our mashup word?
Zoinkies.
Zoinkies. Okay, so those are the honorable mentions.
Okay.
I'm not going to spend any time on them.
None at all.
None at all.
Why not a little bit of time?
A little bit of time. Pinhead has a bunch of metal things in his face.
Ouch.
Jigsaw, he makes people kill one another in basements.
Nasty.
And he has cancer.
Oh.
Pamela Voorhees is a mama of one of our other slashers we're going to talk about.
Mr. Voorhees?
Mr. Voorhees. She's the mommy of him. It's funny. Too bad her name's not Martha Voorhees, because then if they ever did a Batman, Superman, Friday the 13th mashup,
yeah,
then they could be like, save Martha,
and they could all.
Jason would be like, why did you say that name? You know how when Batman says that,
yeah,
it's like, why did you say that name? And then Amy Adams is like, it's his mom's name. Do you remember this?
Yeah, it's really dumb. It's like the dumbest part, right?
Yes. Too bad that Jason's mom's not.
I'm trying to figure out the connection. Why would Jason? Why? It's just because it's a mom.
I'll explain later.
Okay. Does he say something about
he's got some mommy issues?
I see. Okay.
The Candyman. Like I said, never seen it.
But delicious.
But delicious, maybe. We don't know. Is it about a man made out of candy that they eat at the end? Who knows? Because I've not seen it.
Pretty scary.
In the new trailer for the new one, it looks like he has a hook hand. Grant was like, I can say this because Grant doesn't listen to our podcast. He was like, watch this trailer. It's awesome. I watched it and it wasn't.
It wasn't awesome.
Wasn't awesome. The Creeper is just like a creep guy.
Okay.
He's a creep guy. His name is self-explanatory. Okay.
How apropos.
Yeah. I wish that like names were more like that. Like that they just kind of encapsulated you as a being, like
how you're going to be Uncle Danger.
Yeah, how I'm going to be Uncle Danger with Phillip and Lindsay's child, and like you would be like the musician. You know?
I see.
But maybe your name changes like Lindsay's name right now would be Pregnant.
I see.
Hey, Miss Preggers. But then here in a month, she's
something else.
Hey, Miss
Mama.
Hey, Mama. Yeah.
I see.
I don't even know what we're talking about. Okay. All right. So let's scurry on. There's Metzger.
Turn our dog off. I'm going to whip him.
Okay. Number 10.
Okay.
Is. Oh, there's Metzger again.
Metzger.
It's okay.
Whip him.
I listen to podcasts and one of their dogs barks all the time. It's funny. So maybe people will find it funny that Metzger barks.
They're like,
oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Listen to that.
They have a dog like I have a dog. Now I feel connected to them in a different way that I did before.
That's how most, what's sad is that's like how most of the masses' sense of humor is. It's like, I understand that. That's like pop culture humor. Like,
it's just
pop culture references aren't like jokes.
It's just, that's a thing I understand.
I kind of understand that. So I guess I find it funny. I feel like that's how most like broad comedies work.
Yeah.
It's like, if they're like, I don't know, if they're like down in the sewers for something, if like they drop their wallet down the sewers, they go down there and they're like, I feel like that clown.
Or like, man, I'm going to become a turtle now.
Yeah. Look at that pizza box down there. I'm a Ninja Turtle. And then the whole audience just starts like almost like dying laughing.
Yeah.
Like I've seen it happen before where like the paramedics had to come in and wheel at least 5 people away.
Wow.
After that, it was that exact joke too.
Wow.
It was.
What show was that?
It was in a movie.
Okay.
It was called Funny Movie 2, The Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, okay.
It was, and I sat there and I was like, if that joke was funny enough to kill you, then you deserve to die. Okay, so number 10.
Okay.
Sam
Oh.
from Trick or Treat.
Nope, never seen it.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Well, we talked about Trick or Treat in our Halloween movies last year.
Oh, that's it's like one of your faves.
Yes. It's one of my faves.
Wait. Sam is a little boy.
Yeah, he's like, well, okay, so this is the one that he's like not technically a villain. He is. He murders people.
Okay, it sounds pretty villainous to me.
But the thing about his character is like
he just can't help himself.
he's kind of like the embodiment of the spirit of Halloween.
Okay.
So he's making sure that Halloween is staying true to what it's supposed to be.
I see.
So if someone veers off from like a tradition or the way you're supposed to do things on Halloween, he kills you.
I see. This is Halloween.
That's not the movie.
Oh.
There's no slashers in that movie, Phillip, even though that movie's great and I can't wait to watch it this Halloween. No, it's like at the beginning of the movie, there's a couple. The husband loves Halloween, the wife hates it. You made the joke last year, like, that's your future. Probably is.
Maybe.
I'm going to love it. And my wife's going to be like, can we just...
your future. I thought you were saying my future.
No, mine, sorry. So she's like, go upstairs. I'm going to start taking down the decorations. And he's like, you shouldn't take it down before midnight. And she's like, that's just a stupid tradition or whatever. And then he goes upstairs and then Sam kills her because she's taking the decorations down.
Seems mean.
And then like towards the end, he has like this battle with this old grumpy man.
Yeah.
Because he won't give children candy.
Oh.
So he's like, gotta give us candy or I'm gonna murder you.
Yeah.
And he uses a lollipop as his murder weapon. He bites off. It's like a big like hard candy sucker.
Okay.
And he like bites it off and there's like a point to it and that's how he stabs people.
That's terrifying.
But yeah, so he's kind of like, he is doing villainous things, but it's like the essence of who he is, kind of.
It sounds pretty villainous to me. Sounds like probably bad guy. Don't want to be friends. See you later, Sam.
But it's like just stick to what you're supposed to be doing and he won't murder you. You know? Keep your decorations up. Give candy out.
I see.
You know.
I see. There's a way to stop him.
Or a way to stop him. And that's how it... you'll probably never watch Trick or Treat.
Never.
Spoilers for Trick or Treat. And it's not even really spoilers. He goes in to murder the old man at the end.
And he gives him candy.
I forget the circumstance, but for some reason he has like a piece of candy on him. He's like on the ground.
Yeah. And
the sucker stabs the candy bar instead. And then Sam like looks at it and just walks away because the guy technically gave him candy. So he's like a little short person. I don't know if he's a kid. He's technically a kid, but he's also probably like ancient, you know?
Oh, like what do you mean?
Like he's
the movie, in the movie he is, or in real life?
No, the movie.
Okay.
Like, you know, he's supposed to be he embodies like a trick-or-treater. A little child, but he's probably been around for like centuries. I
see.
Okay, so that's number 10.
Okay.
Number 9.
Okay.
Is Jack Torrance.
Don't know him.
From The Shining.
Oh, I've never seen that movie either.
I think is it Jack Torrance? Yeah.
Jack Nicholas.
Why does hold on, I'm going to have to do some real quick research really quick and we're going to do it in real time here, okay?
Okay. Daniel's typing, who is Jackalus Nicholas?
Yeah, okay. Jack
Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson in both The Shining and in the 1989 Batman movie.
His name's Jack.
His name's just Jack. It's like, I wonder if Jack Nicholson is just like, I just change it to my name. Like, I wonder if
it's too hard for me to remember.
Yeah, if like on set he's like, if you don't call me by my name, I'm not going to answer. So call me Jack. I wonder if that's the case.
Maybe.
Because he's like, I feel like he's like a likable douchebag in real life.
Yeah.
So I feel like he can kind of just do and say whatever he wants and get away with it. It's kind of like Bill Murray. Yeah. Anyways, this one I was like doing some research and this was the last one I added to the list because I wasn't sure. It was like, is he a slasher villain? Is he not? Like I was reading like all these things because he only, I think technically murders one person in the movie, if I'm remembering right. And it's a man. It's with an axe.
Oh, okay.
And slashers are like supposed to be.
It's like all the time.
Yeah, right. So I was like, I don't care enough to really make sure 100%. I'm gonna put him on here. So that's why he's so low.
But isn't he like murdering people? Like that's why he's in jail or something.
He's not in jail.
He's in Crazy House.
They're in a hotel.
Okay,
A secluded hotel.
Okay, so no.
But there's also like weird things going on to where like he's possibly have been there for like centuries as well.
I see.
He's like maybe a ghost.
Oh,
But he's also like The Shining's a weird movie.
I'd like to see it sometime, but I don't
trying to
know if I
think.
could.
I don't think there's anything that Lindsay would oppose to. There's one shot with like a guy in a bear outfit that's kind of weird. But other than that, so he's a great character, and it's such a good performance from Jack Nicholson. Probably my favorite Jack Nicholson performance.
Yeah.
But since the internet was unsure if he was a slasher, I say he is. I'm just gonna put him down towards the bottom, just so.
Is that the Here's Johnny thing? Yeah. Okay.
So he's breaking through the door.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in. Yeah, he's great. There's like, I can't, and then he like chases his son out in the hedge maze.
Oh,
with the axe.
that's scary.
It's great. It's such a good movie. It's such like a slow burn movie.
Oh, okay.
Like, do you even know the premise?
No.
Do you? I won't tell you just in case if you ever end up watching it.
All right.
It's a good movie.
All right.
You should watch it.
All right.
Okay. I guess it's time for my thought corner.
Oh, yeah.
These are the episodes when I'm the only one that's talking that I feel bad because it's like I say my number 10, my number 9, then I do my thought corner, the number 7, the number 6, and then Tommy comes in, so you really don't even say anything.
I don't say anything at all in these episodes.
So.
Oh, yeah. Daniel's thought corner. Daniel's thought corner. Daniel's thought corner. Daniel's thought corner. That was my sulky smooth one.
That was great. Good job. You sounded very heavenly.
Yeah.
My thought corner.
I hope it's a heavenly one.
It's not.
Ugh.
In fact, it's the exact opposite. Just kidding. No, we actually mentioned this in our fall activities episode, I think, but that was before Daniel's Thought Corner existed.
Whoa.
And it was kind of just like an offhanded comment that we kind of made.
Yeah.
And I know you agree with me on this.
Okay.
So it's at least not controversial in this room. I don't like caramel apples.
Oh, yeah. They're hard to eat.
Yeah, exactly. That like I used to not like caramel growing up. I was like it's gross and oozy.
No. That I don't agree with.
Well, I've since come around to liking caramel for sure, but I feel like that much coated and like it just like gets all over your teeth.
Here's where caramel apple rules.
Okay.
You ever had that caramel apple dip stuff? You like dip cut up apples.
Oh, yes. It's kind of like peanut butter.
It's kind of like a peanut butter thing, but it's caramel, and that's the stuff.
Okay. Okay, I can see that. I don't really eat that, but I could see that being better than just like an apple on a stick.
Yeah, well, because that caramel has to be hard.
Right, yeah. And it's just like, you try to like put your mouth over it.
And then it crunches, and then you finally get through, and then the whole thing falls apart in your mouth.
Yeah, it's just like, and then it's just like,
ouch. Yeah,
you kind of have to like dig it off and stuff.
Yeah, and then sometimes people don't. Well, I think most times people don't rip off the skin of the apple. So then you get the skin of the apple and like that, and your incisors right up there.
Yeah, yep. Kind of like a piece of popcorn.
Yeah, ugh.
I've realized growing up, I like apples, but they're definitely not my favorite fruit.
I will eat apples if they're cut up. It's hard to eat them straight up.
Yeah. Yep. Oh.
Whoa.
There's an explosion outside. So that's my thought corner.
Okay. A Daniel's Thought Corner. A Daniel's Thought Corner. Daniel's Thought Corner. A Daniel's Thought Corner. Yeah.
That sounded like Have you ever seen Jeremiah Johnson?
No.
Oh.
Well.
That's the end of that conversation.
You can do it, Daniel. Put it over there.
Okay.
The banjo is secure.
It's secure, it's safe, and it's
not, and it's
beautiful.
also not mine.
Oh, whose is it?
It's Corey's.
What?
Yep.
Why is it here?
Corey said, I don't have room at my house.
Oh, okay.
And then now I don't have a room, but I want to have it in my house, so I'll keep it for now.
Well, because without it, we can't do my thought corner.
Right.
So, I guess we could make like a. I like that it's just new. It's a new thing every week. It's just like whatever.
Oh
goes.
yeah, no.
Like I guess we could make a recording.
No, it's not. It's not chaotic enough.
There was that one episode. I don't remember which one it was, but it was just the most chaotic thing. It was like, and you were going like ham on it, on the singing,
on the vocals, on the vox.
No, like that was my favorite. We've yet to match that energy. Okay, number 8.
Okay.
You know, it's just try to guess. Just guess a name. See if
Matthew McConaughey. I guessed a name.
You're right. Number 8's Matthew McConaughey.
Okay. He was in that Bride movie.
Interstellar. Yeah.
The Wedding Planner.
Maybe. 10. I don't know.
10 Things I Hate About Matthew McConaughey.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, I think is what it's called. Anyways, no, number 8 is Ghostface.
Oh, I wouldn't have thought that.
Do you know what he looks like?
A Ghostface.
Here, you know what I'll do? I'll show pictures of them when I say their names so that you will understand who I'm talking about.
Maybe.
That's Ghostface.
Oh.
He's from the movie Scream.
Oh, I didn't know that he had a name.
He does.
I thought his name was Scream.
It's Scream. No, don't allow. And then
Scream.
No, I don't want that. And then this is Sam from Trick or Treat.
Oh, his little pumpkin face.
Well, he's right there.
Right.
Yeah. But you're right, actually. He takes off his mask at some point in the movie and it's a pumpkin
That's
head.
funny.
Anyway, so Ghostface. Interesting thing about him is it's multiple people.
Oh.
It's like...
Does Ghostface like a demon possess people?
No, it's just like a group of teenagers. They're like, let's be slasher villains.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sucks.
This movie kind of shocked the corpse of slasher movies. It was like slasher movies had kind of died off. Okay. And then the director was like, I'm going to make another slasher movie. and it's a pretty like good one. Like as far as like when you look at the scale of slasher movies, it's up there pretty good.
What makes a good slasher movie?
I mean, slasher movies are, in my opinion, are like kind of the
schlock.
They're the schlock of horror movies. They're not like so that's what, again, like Jack Torrance and The Shining, like The Shining's not like schlock.
Yeah.
It's like a good horror movie.
Yeah.
So like, so that's not a good example, but, and there's another one that I'm going to talk about later that wouldn't be a good example, but they're kind of, it's like a kill every 13 minutes. There's, you die if you're doing things you shouldn't be doing.
I see.
That unmarried couples shouldn't be doing. Oh, you know what I mean?
That's what happens in slasher movies?
Yeah, it's like, if you do that, you're going to die.
Oh.
And usually and this isn't being racist, this is just a trope. The black guy usually is one of the first ones to die in slasher movies.
Oh.
And that even happens in Shining. The guy that Jack kills with a axe
really? He's a black guy?
A black man. So there's like kind of points to it, like a slasher movie, and this one kind of like, it was kind of playing on the slasher movie. It was like, yeah, we're gonna do all these tropes, but we're also kind of gonna have like fun with it.
Oh, is it a silly movie?
There's silly aspects to it.
Oh,
but then it's also like the people are getting murdered.
Yeah,
so it's kind of tongue in cheek.
Okay, all right.
So, and Ghostface, I feel like that face is like one of the more iconic.
Yeah, it's like that face in the painting.
The Scream.
The Scream.
Which is what the movie's called.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
It's like did they plan it maybe?
They did it that way on purpose. Okay, my number 7 is Chucky.
Oh, I've not seen these movies, but I do know Chucky.
There he is.
There he is. Does he have a little microphone on there?
No.
Oh,
Where?
I thought he had like a little face microphone. like a Britney Spears type mic thing.
Well, so that's the funny thing about the Child's Play movies is like the first one is there's a few like cheesy elements to it, but for the most part they try to take it fairly seriously as like a horror movie.
Okay.
All the sequels are like
straight up
parodies.
Yeah.
There's like jokes.
Okay.
So they've been around since like I don't know when the first one was.
1946.
I don't even want to say a thing. Yeah, 1946. I don't even want to say a year because
1983.
I'm gonna say okay. It was like the 80s, late 80s.
Okay, I was pretty dang close, wasn't I?
You were. Except you said 46, which I don't know about that.
That was clearly a joke, and no one took that serious. No one.
No money. Anyways, that's it's had the same creative voice the whole time.
Oh, same guy.
So like, you see the progression of Chucky. He like the first one, it's this like voodoo guy.
Okay.
And he's on the run from the police, I think. And then he does voodoo magic and puts his soul into this doll.
Okay.
And it's like the new hip doll that everyone's getting. So,
right.
So that's that movie. But then like later he ends up like getting married to another doll lady and they have like
babies.
A kid, and then they have like marriage counseling.
That's
and like
funny. There's
like a progression to the Chucky character, as well as like he keeps getting like more and more mangled as the movies. So like I think at the end of the third one, he gets like his whole face gets like ripped off and like all that. So he just like goes through a bunch of like torment throughout the movies. So there's actually kind of like a through line with his character through all the movies, which is kind of funny. And then they just did a reboot last year that me and Grant and Austin went to see.
Was that just last year?
I think so. It had April Ludgate from Parks and Rec in it.
Oh.
And Mark Hamill did the voice of Chucky.
That's right. Good. That's right. He's just a good little voice actor.
Yes, he is. Probably one of the best, if not the best.
Incredible at Joker.
Great at Joker. He was a good Chucky. He does good at skips.
Very good at skips.
To the point where I wouldn't have even guessed that was Mark Hamill.
Certainly not.
So that's Chucky.
Okay.
Number 7.
Okay.
And he's it is like the concept of a doll running around on its own is like creepy. So
I remember a Family Matters episode where there's a doll.
Oh, it's like a ventriloquist dummy, isn't it? I think I remember that too.
It was scary. I hated it.
There's an episode of Twilight Zone that we talked about last year with the doll with Talking Tina, and then I think there's a couple Goosebumps episodes with a ventriloquist dummy. It's just like it's an unnatural thing to where you're like, ugh.
I don't want that.
Ugh. Yeah. Number 6.
Okay.
I mentioned I did a reference to it earlier. Let's see if you can guess it.
The son of the girl lady.
No.
Okay.
It was when you made the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reference. I made a reference right beforehand. Yes, good job.
Thanks.
Pennywise, the clown from It. And this can be the new It movies or the old one. I don't care.
Oh, does he murder people a lot? I thought he was just spooking them out.
No, he eats children.
Okay.
It's his whole thing. And that's like how he lives, is like eating children.
Eating children and their fears.
Yeah, basically. Because the movie starts out... I'm going to mainly talk about the first movie of the new ones.
Okay.
Because that's the best.
Okay.
The second one, not so good. And the 1990s TV movie sucks eggs.
There you go.
There we are. So I'm going to be talking about the 2017 film most of the time. Because he's also like he's pretty frightening in that one. The old one, like Tim Curry did a good job And that's like the most memorable thing about the TV movie.
That's funny. I didn't know it was Tim Curry.
It is, yeah, but he does a good job in it. But he's more like silly.
Oh, really?
He's like silly clown. There's a few times where he's like and starts kind of going crazy, but and then the second new movie was just so long and unnecessary. There were a few scenes with Pennywise that he felt, legitimately terrifying, but I think he's the best in the 2017 film. So like it opens up and the little boy is using the rain water on the road to float his boat down. It goes down into the sewer.
Oh, and he's in the sewer, yeah.
Yeah, Pennywise is down there and he's like, "Come closer, Georgie." And then Georgie goes closer and he bites his arm off.
Ouchie.
And then murders him. His arm like slithers out like a snake and grabs him and brings him in. And that's kind of the inciting incident that, starts off the movie. And then he's just, that's the thing about the It story is, it's weird. Stephen King must have been on crack or something when he was writing it, because it's like he's eating children as his whole thing. But then whenever he runs into the main children of the movie, he kind of just like scares them.
He doesn't actually kill
them. And then
them.
they like run away. He's like the rules of Pennywise aren't like set in stone. I don't know what he can do necessarily. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like sometimes he can turn into a giant spider, and then sometimes he has to, a door would stop him, and other times it seems like he could like crawl through
anything.
Yeah, it's just like, it's whatever the script calls for, I guess, for that specific scene. But there are times where he's legitimately like, frightening.
I see.
And both Tim Curry and the Skarsgård guy, I forget his first name, they do a really good job playing him. So,
all right.
And it's a clown.
That's
a creepy
scary.
Clown. So
the new guy's pretty freaky looking.
Yes, he is. He like does this thing where his like eyes kind of go off to the sides.
Ew.
There's like one part where in the second one, this is probably the best scene in the second, in the 2019 one. This little girl goes under the bleachers. They're like at the sporting thing, I think, or like a rodeo or something. And he's like telling her to come here, and he's like being real like happy as a clown. He's like, oh, and he's like, count down from 3. Or he's like, I'm going to count down from 3 and I'll make all your wishes come true. And he's like, 3, 2. And then he just like goes like blank stare and he just starts like drooling.
Ew.
And the little girl's like, 1? like she's like, and then he eats her.
Ew.
But like that scene is just like, oh, he just like goes cross-eyed and like, it's just like so gross looking. So there's some times where he's scary. So, all right, number 5.
All right,
halfway through.
All right,
that is Leatherface.
Leatherface. So is he a football face man?
Yeah, he is. He sewed a football onto his face,
and so he torments the football players.
He kills only with like sports equipment, like javelins.
I see. Hey, that is pretty scary.
That's a lie.
Oh.
This is the Chainsaw Massacre guy.
Oh.
Because
does he go sunning a lot, and so he's kind of like got a leathery face?
He wears other people's skin. As his face.
Well, I wouldn't have guessed that.
So, and he murders people with a chainsaw.
Okay.
Pretty self-explanatory.
I see.
There's a scene where he's dancing with the chainsaw. Hey, Lindsay, come here. Oh. Remember when we were down at Grandma's that one time and we turned the channel on and Texas Chainsaw Massacre was on, and I think we were young enough to where we didn't really know that it was a horrific horror movie, but
we didn't know it was scary.
And it's because it was that scene where he like has the chainsaw and he's like dancing.
And he's like in a dress, isn't he?
He might be. I don't remember that. I just remember it's like sunset or like sunrise or something.
Yeah.
And me and Lindsay thought it was just the funniest thing. We're like, what is this? We were probably like, Mom, get in here.
She did come in, I
Did
think.
she?
Yeah. And she was like, what are you guys watching?
But I just love that, like, that just happened to be the scene that we
I know.
watched.
Yeah.
Well, that's sorry. We were talking about it, and I remember that you probably shared that memory with me. So
Yeah, I will never forget that.
okay, bye. So that was my earliest memory of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's a funny memory to have.
Yeah.
I wish I could have it with you.
It was years after that when I realized, oh,
That was a terrifying
this
movie.
movie's about a man cutting people's faces off with a chainsaw.
Gross.
So
How does he keep them intact? Chainsaw's not very precise, instrument.
I don't know. I don't remember if he kills them with the chainsaw and then like cuts their face off with a knife or what.
These are the types of things that keep me up at night. you
Yeah.
know? How does he cut the face off?
Going back to the new Chucky movie, the new Child's Play movie.
Uh-huh.
At one point, he like the Chucky doll in that one is like slowly corrupted. It's like a malfunctioning doll.
Okay.
That all he wants to do is have fun. But the main kids are like watching, I think, the second Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh.
And he cuts off someone's face, and the kids are like laughing about it.
Like you and Lindsay.
Yeah. And so Chucky's like watching them watch the movie, and he's probably thinking, oh, this is fun to them.
I see.
So then the main kid's mom's abusive boyfriend, Chucky kills him and cuts his face off and puts it. I think he puts it on a watermelon.
gosh.
So like there's this whole subplot in that new one where they're like trying to get rid of the watermelon with this guy's face stapled onto it. Anyways, this episode's gonna have to have like mature content.
I don't
at the
know.
front
Yeah,
of it.
geez. Explicit.
So he's number 5.
Okay.
Leatherface.
Leatherface. Not football man face.
Not football man face, not javelin murder man.
Okay.
I feel like this is probably like a better made like thing than a couple of the next ones are. But I feel like the next villain or the next slashers are more iconic than Leatherface.
All right.
Number 4.
Uh-huh.
These are probably the next 3 are probably the most famous 3. So
Okay. All right, so I should maybe know him.
you should maybe know him. Who do you think number 4 is? I mentioned his mom earlier.
Michael Myers.
Nope.
Man.
Nope. I mentioned his mom earlier.
Voorhees.
What's his first name?
Georgie Voorhees.
Jason Voorhees.
I like Georgie Voorhees.
Georgie Voorhees is his distant cousin that just owns a department store in Milwaukee. The movie's never mentioned him, but he does exist. It's an alternate universe of the It movies where Georgie actually grew up and lived and wasn't eaten by the clown. No, it's Jason Voorhees. This is Hockey Mask Machete Man.
Okay.
So his mom, so I'll kind of go into why he has mommy issues. The first Friday the 13th movie, Jason isn't the villain.
Oh, it's his mom?
It's his mom, because Jason drowns at camp because the counselors weren't paying good enough attention.
Oh,
So the mom goes on a murdering spree.
because she's so angry that her son's dead?
Yes.
But then how does he become the...
Well,
man.
the last scene of Friday the 13th, after the mom's dead, there's people out in a canoe, and they all of a sudden, Jason jumps up out of the water.
Ooh.
And he's like real disfigured and stuff.
Ew.
And then Friday the 13th 2, he doesn't even have the hockey mask yet. He wears like a sack over his head.
Really? How many Friday the 13ths are there?
12.
What?
They were going to make the 13th. They were finally almost to Friday the 13th, the 13th. But it like got canceled or something. Yeah, something dumb.
2020 would have been a good year.
Yeah, it would have been.
For it. You know what I mean?
The 13th isn't on a Friday this year, is it?
I don't think
it
so.
is. It's not.
Do they always come out on the 13th of October?
I don't know. I think last year it was going to be. and they muffed it up.
Jerks. Hollywood.
I know. How dare they?
Oh gosh.
I told you I hit it every episode.
Gosh.
So then I think it's the third one that he finally looks like the Jason Voorhees that's like famous, you know.
Wow.
Which is kind of interesting. Like I feel like that's like an interesting progression to get to what we're so used to, you know. But yeah, so he just goes around the camp and just kills people. There's probably one of the best kills ever. There's a girl in a sleeping bag, and he just takes the sleeping bag and hits her up against the tree really hard.
Oh, ouch!
In the theatrical cut, he just hits her one time, but there's a deleted scene where he's just like wailing.
Oh gosh!
But then I don't know why they cut out so much for the actual movie, but they're like, he just hits her one time and she dies. But
so he takes the sleeping bag and somehow she stays in the sleeping bag as he throws her up against the tree.
Yeah, I think he like closes up he like is holding it from the part that's open.
Oh,
and
that's awful.
But these movies get real schlocky.
I see.
Like really, like I think there's Jason in space. yeah, exactly. So and I think there's Jason Takes Manhattan.
Oh man.
Yeah. So these movies go off the rails.
Well, when you have 12 of them,
it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, and speaking of this franchise going off the rails, they did a crossover.
Okay.
With my next one.
Okay. Which is?
I'm gonna say the name of the movie, and I want you to tell me the name of the guy.
Okay. Michael Myers.
No. Wait. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Freddy Cougar.
What?
Freddy Cougar?
Yeah.
Freddy Cougar.
Freddy Cougar, yes.
Freddy Cougar.
Freddy Cougar. He's a giant cat, man. He's really scary looking.
Would it be really scary? Just a man face on a cat.
Oh, I was thinking a cat face on a man, but I guess both would be kind of terrifying. They should make a movie that's kind of like The Fly.
That's true.
Only it's a man and a puma or a cougar, and they get into wacky predicaments because of that. Anyways, they made a Freddy versus Jason movie.
Oh, I know about that.
Yeah.
That was more recent, right?
I think it's like either late 90s or early 2000s that they made that.
Okay.
So Freddy Cougar is pretty at the start he was pretty scary. Then the movies kind of went off the rails, just like the Friday the 13th ones did. But the interesting thing about him is that he can only get you when you're sleeping.
Oh.
He kills you in your dreams.
He sees you when you're sleeping.
He's basically Santa Claus.
He knows when you're awake. His name is Freddy Cougar, and he's gonna be a cat.
Yeah, Freddy Cougar. Our Freddy Cougar movie is a Christmas movie. Can it have like can Freddy Cougar can it be Eddie Cougar?
Eddie Cougar.
And when his theme song that you just sang comes on, you know, in the old 1960s Batman where it's like pow.
Yeah.
Can it do that? But it pops up like
meow.
It was like yeah.
I like that.
Okay. Like when you said he's gonna be Eddie Cougar.
Yeah.
It's like it's just like all over the screen. But it's just like screenshots of the rest of the movie.
I see.
So you kind of get a hint of like, oh, when it's the cat head on the man, he's going on a nice date. Whereas he's like cutting the food on his plate, but then as soon as he cuts it, the cat head takes over and he just like goes at it. And then like the cat body human head, he's like having to live out in the jungle and he doesn't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. He just says like, oh man,
he's
just a lot.
Yeah, it's like, cause he's kind of like Charlie Brown.
Yeah. he like rips open an animal to eat it. It's like, oh man, it's not cooked this time. Oh man.
All the other cougars are like bringing him food, and he's just like sad the whole movie. So that's like, I'm trying to think. Okay, hold on. Let's think here for a second. So, first act of the movie, you got to establish Eddie, and Cougar.
Yeah.
In their own separate places.
Right.
You know? Cougar gets kidnapped.
Yeah. Okay.
Taken for testing.
I see.
Eddie's the scientist.
I see.
But and then it gets really schlocky, and there's like bullies at the lab. That's essentially just like high school bullies.
Okay.
But it's as adults.
Okay, so they push him in something.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
And then it does a zapping thing where they trade heads.
Yeah.
And then I guess the cougar would break out and go back to or maybe he's in the zoo.
Yeah. I like it.
Okay.
I like it as a zoo.
Okay, so then that's like, this is about like halfway through the movie.
Okay.
Maybe 40% through the movie.
Okay.
He's in the zoo with the cat body, and then the cat head man body is going on dates.
Right.
Going Christmas shopping.
Right.
Because it's Christmas time. And the funny hijinks that he gets into with that. And then does he get back to normal at the end?
I think that they learn that, life is actually better now that they're swapped heads.
Okay.
And that way you can have, Eddie Cougar versus Jason, and all these different future movies.
Yeah,
where like he does, because if you just kind of end the story if they go back.
There's no sequel money.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm all about this.
Okay. Okay. So they kind of, I think because it's a horror movie, and you can't really have like a happy ending to your horror movie. So
right.
how about the cat head human body likes it, but he doesn't.
Okay.
And he's stuck in the zoo.
Yeah.
And I guess the first movie is more just a setup, and then the second one is when Eddie Cougar becomes just a serial, like he becomes a killer.
He becomes a murderer. Man.
Yeah, right. And then that's when it's frightening. That's when like you see a silhouette at night, and you're like, crap. It's like that story that you told last week,
it's like
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Except not Darth Maul anymore.
Not Darth Maul. It's the guy that was smiling, looking up, and you're like, crap. Or have you listened to the Bim Bam, the Nuthead?
Yeah. Yes.
Essentially Eddie Cougar.
Forgot about that. All right.
Anyways, Freddy Cougar, he can get you in your dreams. He kills Johnny Depp in the first movie. It's one of Johnny Depp's first roles. And then I think they beat him up. I think they bring him into the real world, and then they beat him up.
Oh.
I think is how they get him in the end. And he's got like a scarred up face with a fedora and a sweater.
He looks all right.
Yeah, I like the look of Freddy Cougar quite a bit. And Eddie Cougar. Okay. Number 2. You've said his name the last like 3 times.
Michaels.
Good job. Yes, that's Michael Myers. This is the Eddie Cougar version of Michael Myers. Michael
is actually just a grocery store owner.
Oh yeah, it's two stores that we have in the area. It's like they join forces, like Taco Bell and Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
We talked about him last year as well, because I talked about this movie as being one of my favorite Halloween movies.
Oh,
he's just great. He has no emotion. He's just stone cold killer. Has no motivation.
Just murder.
Just murders people.
Do they ever delve into his backstory?
Yeah, he like the first movie, the very first scene of the first movie, so it's not a spoiler. He like kills his sister when he was a little boy.
Ouch.
So he's just like completely gone.
Oh.
And then he comes back and he just starts killing Jamie Lee Curtis's friends.
Oh.
And then she they have a little run-in in the closet, and then
Weird.
the doctor comes and gets him out of the house, and then he's gone. Then they made a bunch of sequels that don't really matter. They made one 2 years ago that was okay.
Okay.
There was like a direct sequel to the first one. They just ignored the other sequels. They're like, we're just gonna make a direct sequel to the first one. Where like it was pretty good.
Okay.
There's some things that happened in it, and I was like, wow, this is definitely a rated R horror movie.
Ew.
Just like some of the kills that I was not expecting them to do.
Yeah.
Because one of them's a kid.
Ew.
Yeah, I was like, oh wow, okay, well he just murdered that boy.
Ew.
The boy is like arguing with his father about he wants to be like a dancer, and his dad's like, I just wish you'd be a hunter.
Oh.
They're going on a hunting trip or something, and then
he's like, I just want to dance.
yeah, basically. And then they witness the bus. They're like hauling Michael Myers to a new jail, like a new prison. Okay, and the bus crashes.
Michael Myers is like, I hate dancing.
Yeah, he overhears the conversation. Like,
yeah.
So he crashes the bus and murders the boy because he liked dancing. There's a great. He hates dancing. He hates dancing. I'm sorry. There's a great Red Letter Media moment when they're talking about this movie, and Mike is like really upset that they just are giving these random characteristics to characters that don't matter. And then he's like, I was expecting the little boy to defeat Michael Myers with his dancing skills. Jay's like, wow, that'd be a very different movie.
That's awesome.
So, which now in retrospect, I wish that happened as well. But yeah, Michael Myers is just like, just something about that concept of like, he just has one goal, and it's just to kill people, and there's no motivation or no like reason why he's doing it. Like, I don't know, there's just something about that's like eerie to me.
Yeah.
Which makes a good villain.
Nice. All right. So, was that your number one?
No, that was my number two.
Okay.
So you're probably thinking, I know all of our horror aficionados out there are like, well, those were the top three.
Yeah.
How is there one above them?
How is there one?
Well, I think,
my gosh. Oh my gosh.
we forgot.
Well, hello?
Hey.
Are you guys done yet?
Well, not done yet, but you can come in and talk though.
I don't know.
What?
I don't like what you're talking about. I don't think I can do it.
It's okay. Just come in. We won't talk about it.
Are you sure?
Here. Yep.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right, here I come.
Yep. Good job.
I forgot how to open up the door. Should I close the door now?
Yeah, close the door so Metzger doesn't get in.
All right.
Hey, Metzger. What's up?
I'm in here now.
You're in here. What do you got for us today?
It was surprising how well you could hear me through the door. Today I learned that Malaysia has chicken beauty pageants where chickens are judged on their appearance, confidence, and style. Prizes for winning can be as high as $10,000. See ya!
Well, bye, Tommy. All right.
Here he goes. I think he was really scared about whatever we're talking about today, I think. I don't know why he felt so scared. It's not like we were going to show him the movies.
We'll have to check in on him later.
Yeah,
make sure he's okay.
I think he'll be okay.
Okay, number one.
Those chickens, though, huh?
The chicken, that is crazy. I didn't.
$10,000. I'd do that.
I would do that too. All that we have to do is just go buy a chicken. Yeah. The chicken that survived the great chicken massacre of 2016 or whenever that was, that Ethan had all the chickens and they all got mauled by raccoons. The sole survivor, Scarlett, she was a great looking chicken. She had like
very confident.
Yeah, very confident in herself, and she had like a golden coat. It was awesome.
What's number one, Daniel?
Number one, and you actually do know this one. Uh-huh. I'd say he's the grandfather of slasher villains.
Okay.
Guess.
I mean,
you've seen it.
I've seen it, huh?
And you actually, in fact, love this movie.
Like slasher movie, I love it. I don't know. I can't think. Give me a hint. Give me a hint.
Black and white.
Nosferatu.
No.
Okay. black and white slasher movie, and I love it.
One of the most famous scenes of someone getting killed in cinema history.
Oh, Psycho?
Yeah.
Oh,
Norman Bates.
Norman Bates.
He's my number one slasher.
There you go.
Because I feel like that movie kind of started off the genre, or at least was like the biggest one, at the time.
That's true.
I was like looking through lists and no one like was having him, and then I came across one. They're like, let's not forget
Norman Bates.
Norman Bates. I was like, yeah, thank you. So I got backup on it.
There you go. Somebody believes in the same thing that you believe in.
Yes. So I'm gonna let you talk about Norman Bates since I've talked most of the episode.
Norman Bates. So he's a good slasherman because he actually thinks spoilers. Mm-hmm. He thinks he's his mom. Kind of. And he embodies his mom's idealisms.
Yes.
And so, better watch out.
Yeah, he'll get you.
He'll get you. And it'll be pretty freaky when he gets you.
Yeah, right?
Because you just ain't expecting it. So he's crazy. Mm-hmm. And he's got his dead mom in the basement.
Yeah. Oh, that reveal. I love it. I think like the thing that kind of lets him stand out above the rest of them that I've mentioned is that it's very realistic.
Yeah.
It's like, Freddy Cougar is a dream man and
that's what a lot of people call me.
Is dream man?
Yeah, like, man, you're just so much of a dream man. My dream man is what Lindsay calls me.
I'm sure. And Eddie Cougar is half man, half cougar, and half cougar, half man.
Yeah.
And or Pennywise is a space clown and like all this stuff.
Yeah.
The Norman Bates is just a man who has multiple personality disorder.
Yeah.
And and has a weird connection with his mom.
Yeah.
That murders women. Like it's very like that could very well happen, and it's kind of scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like that's kind of why he sticks out in my mind as like a good movie villain. But
he's freaky. Tell you what,
it's freaky.
It's funny. I think of that movie as being in color. I don't know if that's because I've seen a colorized version.
Oh, interesting.
Or if my brain has just filled it.
They did make sequels. Bet you didn't know that, did you?
I know about the TV show.
They did the Bates Motel.
Yeah.
But they made sequels with the same guy.
Really?
He like gets out of the institution.
Whoa.
And it's like about like he wants to be better.
Oh.
But Mother keeps coming back.
Mother.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
Who directed it?
He did actually.
The actor?
I think so.
Oh.
If I have my information correct.
He was like, how can I make some more money? And then it popped into his brain.
Well, yeah, because the second one, so the first movie was 1960. The second one was 1983.
Oh, wow.
So it was 23 years later that they came back. And then the third one was 86, so 3 years after that. And then I think they did a TV movie.
Really?
At some point. And then they did the Bates Motel. And then they did a remake with Vince Vaughn. Apparently it sucks.
They did a remake of Psycho?
Yeah.
Why?
It's shot-for-shot remake.
Ew.
Yeah. And
how does it suck?
Apparently, like the acting is awful and like all this stuff. But apparently, I forget the director who did it. The villain, the villain who made this thing. I think he said something along the lines of, "I remade it so that nobody else ever could," because like he didn't want it to be ruined, basically.
Oh,
so like he took it on himself to like do as poor of a job as possible so that they would never touch that series ever again.
Oh, good.
So I guess...
And then they made Bates Motel.
And then they made Bates Motel, but... So I guess he's the hero we deserve, but not the one that we need anymore.
Yeah.
Or I guess he'd be the hero we need.
Did you say Vince Vaughn?
Vince Vaughn, yeah.
Vince Vaughn, huh?
Yeah.
He plays
Norman.
weird.
Yeah. So I think he was probably like, who would be the worst possible choice? Vince Vaughn.
How did Vince Vaughn say that was a good idea? Maybe he thought it'd be funny.
Probably. Or he thought, this is going to be my big, serious acting.
Yeah. Finally, somebody takes me serious.
Yeah. And then the I keep wanting to call him the villain. The director is like just laughing all the way to the bank. So.
Wow.
Well.
I feel like I've learned a lot about murder.
This was our most murder-heavy episode, I feel like. So.
I can put the explicit tag on here, I guess.
I don't think it needs it.
I'd be curious to see what happens. Maybe we've suddenly get 1 million listeners.
That'd be great. Please, millions of listeners.
Tell your friends about us.
Yeah.
What is your thing? Tell your friends, your clergymen.
Your family, and friends and clergies.
Yeah. So let them know about us.
Yeah.
Share about it on your social medias.
Mm-hmm. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat.
Whatever.
LinkedIn.
We're going to be on YouTube. We are on YouTube. We are on YouTube.
We are on YouTube, and go check out our stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
We might be putting out, I guess we kind of conversed right before this episode. We might put out something on Halloween, a little spooky thing. I don't know.
A little spook.
We'll see. But
what's that?
Our sign off.
Oh. We're the best. And you're the best.
You can never be perfect, but you can always be better.
We love you.
Ooh. We're ghosts.